The 9 terrifying archaeological discoveries that have left scientists stumped. Hello everyone. Archaeology is always a fascinating field, where scientists continuously search for the remnants of the distant past to unravel the mysteries of humankind. However, during this journey of discovery, archaeologists often face unexpected and sometimes terrifying findings that leave them confused or even bewildered. From strange skeletons to inexplicable artifacts, each discovery raises a new question, a challenge to humanity's knowledge and understanding of history. In this video, I will introduce you to 9 of the most terrifying and mysterious archaeological discoveries recently, which have amazed the scientific community and led them on a quest for answers. What are these discoveries? Let's find out right now. The 6 skeletons in a face-down position in a cave on a cliffside. On the cliffs of Gran Canaria Island in Spain, an unsolved mystery still exists. Archaeologists have discovered 6 skeletons lying face down. Some were bound by their hands and covered with stones. The identities of these individuals, when they died, remain unanswered. However, according to the initial assessment by archaeologist Veronica Alberto, the leader of the excavation team, it is clear that these individuals experienced a violent death centuries ago. They were not buried in the conventional sense. This burial practice represents a form of symbolic violence. Some bodies were forced onto the surface and later covered with stones, while others had their hands and feet bound or tied with straps. Furthermore, these mysterious skeletons exhibit certain peculiarities. They were all male and had strong muscular arms. Based on these details, the archaeologists believe that these individuals may have engaged in specific physical activities. However, determining the exact time of their death is difficult. Veronica added that it's possible this was the burial site of indigenous people, but due to the nature of the archaeological site, they need to expand their research and examine whether it could date back to the period after the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire in the 15th century. Currently, experts have not found any items or materials that could provide clues about the skeletons of these men. Therefore, they must wait for the results of carbon dating. Gran Canaria is one of the Canary Islands in Spain, located off the northwest coast of Africa. It is also known for its white sandy beaches and black volcanic lava. The southern beaches, such as Playa del Inglés and Puerto Rico, are very lively, while Puerto de Mogollon and San Agustin are quieter. To the north, the city of Las Palmas serves as a main stop for cruise ships and a duty-free shopping destination. If you are someone who loves exploration and discovering new things, I think a trip to this place will certainly provide you with many new and interesting experiences. Chilling treasure found in a cave. Recently, researchers discovered a shocking treasure in the Marmolles Cave in Spain, consisting of ancient human bone artifacts dating back thousands of years BC. This treasure is not just a valuable archaeological find, but it also reveals eerie secrets about how ancient people interacted with each other and the complex beliefs in their societies. Unearthed from 12 ancient graves in the cave, the artifacts include a cup made from a human skull, along with bone fragments and remains of 7 adults and 5 children. According to the research team from the University of Bern in Switzerland and the University of Córdoba in Spain, the discovery of the human skull cup provides clear evidence of manipulation and retrieval of human remains in ancient societies. The skull cup is particularly striking, as it is made from the skull of a person, showing clear signs of flesh scraping and marrow extraction. Crafting this cup required advanced skills, as the skull's edges had to be broken and the flesh scraped away to form a usable shape. Analysis shows that the cup was used to hold some kind of liquid, possibly wine or water, raising questions about its purpose and cultural significance in prehistoric communities. Furthermore, the bone fragments also show signs of cannibalistic behavior, with cut marks and evidence of marrow extraction. These acts are a form of brutality, evoking strange beliefs and rituals, possibly related to remembrance, revenge, or the possession of the deceased's soul. Based on these discoveries, scientists suggest that the crafting and use of human bones may be connected to beliefs about the afterlife, which were complex and mysterious in ancient societies. Female skeleton in a giant red coffin. After thousands of years of history, countless cultural relics and historical treasures have been buried deep beneath the earth. Today, through archaeological programs, we can uncover some of them and gain a deeper understanding of history. Recently, Chinese archaeologists excavated an ancient tomb in the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region. The coffin was found in a small tomb, seemingly belonging to an ordinary person. However, the first unusual thing that caught the eye was the coffin's bright red color, which is different from the traditional black color usually seen. This is very strange because red symbolizes good fortune in ancient Chinese culture, and it was typically used in weddings, red envelopes for gifts, or New Year celebrations. According to preliminary assessments, the archaeological value of the giant coffin is immense. After opening the coffin, inside was a beautifully dressed female skeleton with a vast amount of jewelry made of gold. However, when the clothing was lifted, a mysterious black liquid began to ooze from the body, which startled the experts and even caused them to flee in fear. After calming down and taking samples for testing, the results showed that the liquid was mercury. This substance found in the coffin may have been used to preserve the deceased's body, as well as to prevent tomb robbers from disturbing the remains. To prevent decomposition, ancient people had injected a large amount of mercury into the body before burial. This discovery impressed scientists as it demonstrated the ingenuity of the ancients. Moreover, this embalming method had another clever purpose: to thwart tomb raiders. Anyone who dared to open the coffin risked being harmed by the mercury, or even dying if they were unlucky. Scientists were fortunate to have recognized this issue early on. The skeleton of Don Quixote's author. Archaeologists have been searching for the lost remains of the Spanish author Miguel de Cervantes, the writer of the famous novel Don Quixote, since early 2014. Recently, they made a significant breakthrough by finding a piece of coffin wood engraved with the first two letters of the author's name, along with a set of remains located in a crypt beneath a church in Madrid, Spain. Cervantes passed away in 1616, leaving behind an indelible literary legacy with Don Quixote, a work considered a pioneer in modern literature. According to his will, his family buried him in a church in the center of Madrid, where, for centuries, the exact location of his grave remained a mystery. After renovations to the church in 1973, Cervantes' tomb suddenly disappeared, puzzling experts. Interestingly, the church where he was buried still exists today, but the exact location of the great writer's grave has remained unclear. Therefore, in 2014, an archaeological project was launched to find Cervantes' remains. Despite facing controversy over its impact on Madrid's cultural heritage, authorities decided to continue the search, and they have made significant progress. The discovery of a coffin wood fragment engraved with the letters MC in the crypt has attracted considerable attention. This is the clearest sign that the remains in the crypt may belong to the writer Cervantes. Additionally, archaeologists found the remains of at least 10 other people in the same area. Besides these signs, archaeologists also used other clues to help identify the remains. One important detail was that Cervantes had written before his death that he only had 6 teeth left, along with injuries from his time in battle. In particular, during the Battle of Lepanto in 1571, Cervantes was severely wounded while fighting against the Ottoman Empire. 2 gunshots to the chest and 1 to the hand left him with a permanent injury to his left hand. This information was also crucial in identifying his remains. The discovery of Cervantes' remains is not only of archaeological significance, but also serves as an act of honoring the man who changed the face of Spanish and world literature. As the director of the Madrid Cultural Heritage Management Committee once stated, "Finding the writer's grave is a way to repay the great debt to the nation's literary king." Madrid has dedicated a neighborhood, Barrio de las Letras, where the writer once lived, to honor him. Cervantes was not only the author of Don Quixote, but also a figure with a rich life experience. From fierce battles in the Mediterranean Sea to being captured and imprisoned by North African pirates, he lived a life full of challenges. However, it was these experiences that contributed to the creation of his profound and timeless works. 8,000-year-old human bones in an underwater cave. A remarkable archaeological discovery has recently been announced along the Caribbean coast of Mexico, where prehistoric human bones were found in an underwater cave in Tulum. Archaeologists, led by researcher Octavio Del Rio and diver Peter Broger, uncovered the skeleton on September 13th. The bones and shattered skull were found beneath a thick layer of sediment, 26 feet underwater and about 0.3 miles from the cave's entrance. This discovery is incredibly significant, offering a valuable glimpse into the lives of people at the end of the Ice Age, but also raising a series of unanswered questions about how the body ended up in the cave and what happened thousands of years ago. Remarkably, the bones could not have been accessed without modern diving equipment, causing it to be forgotten for over 8,000 years. Although experts have managed to collect samples and take photographs for research purposes, Del Rio mentioned that determining the exact age of the bones still requires extensive work, from sample collection to further analysis in the laboratory. The exact location of the cave containing the skeleton has not been disclosed to prevent potential trespassing, as the Mexican government's Maya train project is being developed very close to the area. The Maya high-speed rail project, stretching 932 miles around the Yucatan Peninsula, has sparked considerable controversy as it connects coastal resorts with archaeological sites, including underwater limestone caves that contain valuable historical artifacts. Environmentalists and archaeologists have strongly opposed the project, arguing that it not only divides the coastal rainforest, but could also destroy or pollute these ancient caves, which hold important evidence of humanity's past. In fact, many caves may take decades to fully explore, and damage from construction could lead to unforeseen consequences. The discovery of the prehistoric skeleton in the Tulum cave is part of a series of ancient remains that archaeologists have uncovered along the Caribbean coast, an area rich in archaeological heritage in North America. The skeletons of giant red people in 3,000-year-old tomb mounds. In northern Serbia, archaeologists made unexpected discoveries when they excavated two large ancient burial mounds and uncovered exceptionally large, red-colored skeletons that were notably different from the local population of that time. According to ancient origins, these burial mounds were studied by a team of scientists from the Institute of Archaeology and Ethnology at the Polish Academy of Sciences. What is intriguing is that these mounds were not only much larger than the surrounding mounds, but were also constructed from ash trees, with each mound having a diameter of up to 130 feet and a height ranging from 10 to 13 feet. These mounds contained many skeletons, with the earliest burial dating back approximately 2,900 to 3,000 years ago, and the second burial occurring about 100 to 200 years later. However, what astonished the archaeologists was not just the massive size of the mounds, but the unusual color of some of the skeletons. These skeletons were all bright red. Through analysis, scientists determined that the bodies were covered with a layer of red ochre after death, indicating that the deceased were honored and highly regarded. Red ochre had been used for over 5,000 years as a symbol of power and sanctity, particularly in rituals honoring the deceased. Another remarkable aspect that left archaeologists astounded was the size of the skeletons. The men found in these two mounds were extraordinarily tall, with an average height of over 5 feet 11 inches, while the local population in Serbia at that time averaged only about 5 feet 3 inches. Dr. Piotr Włodarczak, one of the researchers involved in the project, suggested that the combination of the use of red ochre and the exceptional height of the deceased may indicate that they were immigrants from the Eurasian steppe. This is an important suggestion because in that region, red ochre burial rituals were often performed to honor and elevate important individuals in the community. Additionally, archaeologists noted that these graves contained very few grave goods, despite the deceased's apparent high status, which further deepens the mystery surrounding their lives and deaths and raises questions about the cultural connections between different communities of that era. 2. Tiny red-colored baby skeletons. Today, identical twin births are not uncommon, but stories of twin births in history, especially those that have been buried in time, continue to captivate scientists' attention and exploration. Most recently, in November 2020, archaeologists in Austria unearthed two infant skeletons dating back approximately 30,000 years, shedding light on an ancient mystery surrounding identical twin births. The two skeletons were found in an oval-shaped grave. The surrounding soil was red and blood-stained, and scientists deduced that after death, the bodies of the two children were coated in red ochre and their heads were positioned facing east. Researchers analyzed DNA and confirmed that these two children shared the same genetic code, proving they were identical twins. Further analysis revealed that both were full-term babies, but one survived for about 6 to 7 months while the other lived for about 3 to 4 months. Both bodies were buried with ceremonial items. The smaller body was surrounded by mammoth ivory beads near the pelvic bones, while the other was adorned with a shell necklace. The grave was discovered at the Gravettian site of Krems-Wachtberg in Austria, which is believed to date back to the Upper Paleolithic period. Along with the twins, the research team also discovered the skeleton of a 3-month-old infant, believed to be a relative of the twins. This is an extremely rare archaeological discovery, and scientists used DNA analysis to confirm the biological relationship between the 3 children, while also shedding light on the relationship between them and the communities of that time. The analysis suggests that, although the twins were small in size, they were buried with valuable items, indicating the respect and reverence the people of that era had for these children. Like many other rituals in ancient cultures, the use of red ochre to coat the bodies was a symbol of sacredness and power. This discovery not only tells a fascinating story of a distant past, but also opens up profound research into the medical, biological, and cultural history of ancient communities. The Red Queen in the ancient stone coffin. More than 20 years ago, Mexican archaeologist Fanny Lopez Jimenez and her colleagues made an unexpected discovery when they uncovered the remains of the Red Queen in a tomb dating back approximately 600 to 700 years AD in Palenque, Mexico. To this day, experts have been unable to decode the mystery surrounding the skeleton. The reason it is called the Red Queen is because the body was preserved with red cinnabar. Additionally, a crown made of jade beads was found around the skull. Furthermore, experts also discovered hundreds of green fragments from a damaged mask. The body of the Red Queen was adorned with valuable jewelry such as pearls, jade, and some seashells. According to research results, the Red Queen died around the age of 60 and had a diet primarily consisting of meat with strong and healthy teeth. However, no inscriptions or artifacts were found to confirm the identity of the Red Queen. It is only known that, based on the artifacts discovered in the tomb, archaeologist Jimenez speculates that the remains may belong to a royal woman linked to Kinich Janab Pakal I, a Maya king. Jimenez's hypothesis is based on the fact that Temple the 15, a smaller pyramid structure, is located right next to the tomb of King Pakal. However, all of this remains speculation. Over the past 20 years, experts have been working to identify the Red Queen, but no definitive results have been reached. Therefore, her identity remains a mystery for future generations. 2,000-year-old organic remains still intact in an ancient tomb. While constructing the foundation for a new building in the Huangkou area of Xi'an, China, the Shanxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology uncovered ancient Han tombs. The excavation site is located about 2.5 miles south of the tomb of Emperor Han Xuan and 0.9 miles north of the Duling town border. This rare mystery involves the preservation of organic materials over thousands of years without decomposition, which has astonished the world about the incredible ingenuity of ancient civilizations. Since excavation began in August 2020, preliminary surveys and subsequent digs have revealed more than 1,000 ancient tombs in this area, which is a high ground, making it an ideal burial site for ancient people. The central area of the excavation primarily contains tombs from the late Western Han period, while smaller tombs from the Tang, Ming, and Qing dynasties are scattered around. In one tomb, dating back more than 2,000 years, not only was a collection of pottery discovered, but also many woven bags containing unspoiled grains, leaving those present in awe. The M553 tomb was severely plundered, and its owner is believed to have been a noble or senior official. Most of the decorations, such as ivory cylindrical ornaments, jade eye shields, jade pig handles, and other objects, had been cleaned out. The tomb is shaped like a brick-arched cave, extending 55 feet in length, with east and west walls dividing it into several chambers. These chambers measure 13.4 feet in width, 17.4 feet in length, and 30.2 feet in depth, making it the largest Han tomb in the excavation area. The top of the tomb has collapsed, and remains of a cypress wood coffin were found in the east, west, and north sections below. Pottery, woven bags of grains, and straw mats wrapped in food were discovered during the cleanup of a chamber along the east wall, which is 3.6 feet wide, 11.5 feet deep, and 3.9 feet high, with a vaulted ceiling made from wedge-shaped bricks. The organic remains inside can be divided into 3 parts based on their preservation method. The innermost section of the tomb chamber contained pottery and primitive ceramic vessels, some still with lids. The pottery was adorned with ancient Zhou dynasty patterns, and the top was covered with a well-preserved mat. The middle section of the tomb chamber contained bundles of cylindrical seeds with holes arranged side by side. Experts identified these as hemp seeds and millet. The outside of these seeds was wrapped in woven mats and fabric, with red ribbons tied into a fang shape. The woven mat, which appears to be made of reeds, has remained a mystery for researchers due to its unique physical properties. Most of the items in the tomb have decayed into powder, making it difficult for archaeologists to study them without careful handling to avoid exposure to wind and air. The outermost section of the tomb chamber contained an open round bag, turned upside down, with visible brown residue on the inside. This is likely to be a soup, solid food, or meat, though archaeologists have not yet been able to determine the exact material. Hu Sunbo, head of the excavation department at the Shanxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology, said, "Most food containers in Han tombs discovered so far have been made of pottery. However, the food in this tomb was stored in woven fabric bags and mats tied with red ribbons." This Han tomb, dating over 2,000 years old, has preserved many types of organic materials, which is quite rare in archaeological discoveries in the Guangdong region in recent years. If we can figure out the material used to wrap these items, it would be a miraculous breakthrough for the food preservation industry. Dear friends, with that, the mystery of the 2,000-year-old organic remains has concluded our exploration for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you found this video interesting and enjoyable. Now goodbye, and see you next time.